So I've called this meeting to order at 7:31. I will take a motion to go into executive session. Is Davis trying to talk? We don't hear you, Davis.
So moved.
Okay, from Ann. Do I hear a second?
I will second.
Okay. I believe that was Sarah who
Yes.
won that race. Okay. I will do a roll call vote, see if I can get everybody. I don't see everybody. So, Amy, how do you vote?
Aye.
Anne Marie?
Aye, but I just want to make sure that we let everybody know that we're going to be coming out and taking their comments, just so everybody knows that we're not just going into executive session and making a decision right then.
Yes. No, we legally and morally, we will be voting in open session. Davis, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Megan?
Aye.
Sarah, did I already call on you?
Yes, I had seconded, but yes.
Okay.
Aye.
Let's see who else is. It's okay, Davis. Elizabeth
Aye.
and Megan. Megan?
I thought you already called on me. But
I did. Well, dyslexia is a horrible disease. Did I get everybody? So early in the morning. I believe I called on you, Mark.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
All right, so tell Bill.
Okay, so
Yeah. We're going to executive.
we're going into executive session.
Until 11.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stop the recording and then I'm going.
You're not gonna get one.
Okay, we are recording.
My understanding is we have some. Let's see if I have this. Public participation.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to find my.
Yeah, the video. Yeah, the video is muted.
Oh.
There you go.
You can see. Oh, got it. Yeah. That one.
Okay. Public comment is not legally required, but we believe it is crucial for us to hear from our community members about their concerns over issues. Through these meetings, our boards models for our students how to conduct public discourse, and that the board and members of our community can approach controversial issues in a civil and constructive manner and can demonstrate mutual respect. Having said that, please note that the board is here to listen. The public comment period is not designed for discussion. Please start by identifying yourself and what town you reside in.
My name is Rhonda Fairbrother. I reside in Weathersfield.
So we have a person in the conference room with us.
Okay.
No, we have people here and then you have people online. So how do you want to handle?
Let's do the people in person. They showed up. Okay. So, and that individual that started, why don't you go ahead?
Well, first of all, I'm a retired bus driver of 40 years. And I don't know if you've already made your decision or not, but.
No, we have not. The board has not made a decision yet.
Well, what you need to know is a few years ago, Weathersfield went from owning their own buses to lease busing. At that time, I refused to go to a leasing company. Present people in the room excluded, and my choice for that was I had such a horrible experience with working for a leasing company, and some of the people from that leasing company are still with Butlers or part of Butlers, I don't know. But what I wanted to make sure you guys were all aware of, which this does not affect me in any way, but I wanted to make sure you guys understood that I was reading posts online and there was a lot of assumption that current drivers would go to another busing company. I know of at least 3 drivers that will not because of past experience. We are also choosing, some would choose to stay with STA because in case of loss of contract, STA has assured them positions under other contracts. It's been done in the past and they make it right. I also want to make you aware that STA has we do safety trainings, and I think that's a federally mandated thing. I don't think it's new to any commercial transportation system. They do pay high wages. I know one of the complaints from one of the drivers who would choose not to go is that Butler's has a tendency sometimes to break up pay, so there is no overtime paid. I don't know this for a fact. This is what I've been told. We do get overtime if you work it. STA also has 401k. You're paid to wash your bus. We park at home. I believe the other company allows parking at home as well. When we have to bring the bus to the shop for maintenance, we're paid for that. So basically, whenever we are with a bus, we are paid. We also don't have a problem with driver shortage or retention. And we also have a lot of spare drivers. We have spare drivers and we have trip drivers. And I would like to point out to Windsor especially, because I know this is a big deal with sports trips. And I know a lot of parents, because I'm from here, and a lot of parents from Springfield, there has been several trips canceled. How are Windsor gonna feel? Because there's a lot of trips that go out of Windsor, sports trips that overlap regular route times. How are you going to feel when your championship football team or your championship basketball team has to forfeit a game because there's no bus? There's no driver for a bus. Heartland, at the beginning of the school year, even though I was retired, Mike gave me a call because he knows I'm still qualified. You had a driver that wanted a week and a half off because their daughter was getting married in England. Because Mike knew I was available, he gave me a call because I'm a regular route driver. I drove for you guys for a week and a half. If there's already shortages somewhere else, you're not going to have those options. And I don't know if this is appropriate to mention or not, but since I was involved in this, I know about it. Butlers were removed from White River Valley. STA had 3 months to hire, train, license, and train on bus routes drivers. It was done in that 3-month time with spares. There were spare drivers. When I retired this year, there was drivers waiting in the wings that wanted full-time employment. When I gave my notice that I was retiring, I was training my replacement on my bus route before I left. Because my company treats me well, I felt it was my job and my responsibility because I had inside knowledge of that route. I didn't just walk away. I did want to let you guys know something, and I feel this is very important. This was a comment that was made during some online comments. This is posted by an ex-student of Weathersfield, and this was during leasing times. I'm not going to give her name because I did not ask permission. I have zero knowledge or connection to these companies, but I continue to stay connected to the community and to visit my family frequently. Reading some of these comments, I simply want to share this. As someone who was literally almost killed by a bus in 1987 in Weathersfield, I would encourage you all to not simply factor it down to cost. Recognize the value of what these vehicles are transporting and prioritize safety. So I would like to point out in closing that in 40 years, I have an exemplary driving record. And part of it is because of that incident. I was a young driver when that happened, and I vowed it would never happen on my watch, ever. And that's why I'm here today, because when companies have retention issues, they tend to also have safety issues because it's just, I was 20 minutes late my first day in Heartland. I did not know the route. So as an experienced driver, I drove it a whole lot slower because I knew there were kids out there that I might not remember where they were. So I needed to take that time. An inexperienced driver doesn't realize that they're worried about time. So my point to you guys is, I think safety should be your top priority. And I think STA has proven they have an exemplary safety record with this school district. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. So who else is in the room?
No comment.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comments? Mr. V.
Hello, my name is Jeff Vandeveer. I'm a Weathersfield resident, and I am currently a teacher in Springfield Public Schools. So I can speak firsthand about the effect that the awful Butler bus system has had on us. We'll go back about a week and a half ago where one of the, well, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. We have 3 bus routes that handle the middle school and high school routes. One of those bus routes has been unfilled since early last school year. So our students from North Springfield and the northern side of town have no bus access and have not since early of the last school year. And Butler doesn't seem interested in getting that position filled. The other day, I believe it was October 3rd, October 2nd, maybe, Thursday. It was right before we were about to be dismissed at 1:45. We received a call on our PA system at 1:25 saying that one of the other 2 buses that we had available has canceled. There's no driver. This kind of stuff happens regularly. I mean, I wish I could say that this was a rare occurrence, but this happens regularly. As a soccer coach, I've had games canceled because of no bus being able to take us there. We've had field trips where our students were waiting outside literally for the bus to arrive. And when no bus showed up, we had to call the bus service and say, hey, where's our bus? And it seems they lost the memo for it. I submitted to all of you the recent school board minutes from the Springfield School Board meeting this past Monday, where they talked about how Butler has been in violation of contract, and Butler acknowledged that they are in violation of contract, but have no sense of duty or responsibility to fulfill their obligations. I don't know why we would think that hiring a bus service like that would be a good move when they can't even handle the current contracts that they have. That's really all I wanted to say. I mean, Weathersfield has been phenomenal. Our drivers have been great. In the last 11 years that I've been sending students there, I think we've only had 2 problems, and one of those was a downed power line, and the other one was a bus malfunction. But the communication is always outstanding. And that's just not the case with Butler Bus Service. They lose information. They fail to tell us. This is a constant thing. And I think the pennies that the taxpayers would save do not make it worth it for the amount of work hours that the taxpayers would have to give up to transport their own children because Butler fails them. That's all I need to say. Thank you.
So I could maybe, with your experience, is it possible you can answer a question that came up in executive session
Sure.
about that contract? Is Butler not running those routes because they can't find a bus driver, or is it because they can't find a monitor?
It's for a couple of the routes, it's a driver. I don't know if you saw in the minutes that they are going to be abandoning one of our elementary routes starting this week. I'm sorry, I'm in a meeting right now that I'm not supposed to be. Anyway, but yeah, they're going to be canceling one of the elementary routes, so leaving elementary students without a school bus. And one of our secondary routes is also, it's just been left unfilled. They have not filled the position for a driver.
Okay.
The monitor positions, that's a different issue altogether. But yeah, they haven't fulfilled that position.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, let me get back to where's my list? My list. There. Jonathan? I think someone else had their hand up. Jonathan.
Hi there. Thank you for calling on me. Right now I'm working at Heartland Elementary School. Caleb is very safe, Christine. So I just want to say one thing that I've heard is loyalty, and that's what I want to talk about quickly. I've really enjoyed working for STA, Mike, and also Heartland School here for a couple of years. I'm in my 3rd year, and I am extremely loyal to Mike and to STA. Whenever he calls for a trip, I realize the importance of saying yes right away, dropping everything for him, because I know that STA does the same thing for me. One thing that might be influencing your decision is something that happened at the end of last year, where mistakes were made on all sides, and I was put on paid administrative leave at the end of the school year. I'm very grateful to Christine for getting involved and for coming up with a fair and equitable solution. So I am just as loyal to Christine as I am to Mike at STA. But I want you to know that Mike supported me and really helped me through that difficult time. So you're hearing things about Butler that are not flattering. As a employee of STA and of Windsor Southeast Supervisory Union, I just want you to know that Mike is so supportive, and every driver that I've talked to at STA would do anything to keep things running smoothly. So thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Courtney?
Hi, everyone. I'm Courtney Campbell. I am a resident of Weathersfield, Vermont. And Rhonda was actually my bus driver growing up, since I was in Weathersfield from 6th grade to 8th grade. And I also was a Springfield student. And there was also access to the bus when I was in Weathersfield to still utilize the Weathersfield bus from Young's Farm home. That's unfortunately not the case anymore, but I am here today because I have a daughter in the Weathersfield school who's 8 years old. And I also have a son who's 14 this year attending the Springfield High School. In my experience, I have a sister who's in the Springfield school system, And there's been many times where she doesn't get a phone call that there's no bus for her kid and that she didn't know, so she didn't go pick up her kid. And then she's getting a phone call from the school later on in the day. Many of parents are getting these phone calls that their kids need transportation. For me, that's a big deal. I'm a single mom. I don't have anybody to help me with these kind of things. So and I also work out of town. So if there's no bus for Brickley and she can't get home, that means me and many other parents have to leave Dartmouth or Springfield or Claremont or Wayland. And sometimes we don't have access to our phones. They have to call work. Like, it's a big deal in the Springfield community, and it's happening to a lot of people. And people are having to stop working. Moms are having to stop working, and the dads have to go to work, or they're ending up on reach up. With no transportation to school, people are losing their jobs because they're late every single day. And North Springfield bus, the one that's not running, would be great for my son Dante to be able to utilize to go to my grandmother's house on Thursdays when they get out at 1:45. But there's no access to the Butler bus to North Springfield. So I have to get out on Thursday, 1:45 every week to pick up my son. So I just wanted to do that standpoint because a lot of us Wethersfield parents utilize different schools, and with the Butler transportation, all of our children are in different schools. This is going to be a catastrophe. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Courtney. Is there anyone else who has a comment? Okay. So I believe it's time to vote. And Anne Marie?
I'll make a motion to approve or to go with the STA contract.
Okay, I will take a second.
This is Amy. So moved. I second.
Okay. So let's start at the top. And just to clarify, an I would mean that we would be approving the contract for STA. A no would mean that we are not approving. No, I'm sorry. Let me restate it appropriately. An I would be a vote to approve the bid for STA. A nay would be not to approve the bid for STA. It would not be a vote for Butler. Anne Marie, how do you vote?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Brian? No. Let me go down here. Davis?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Megan?
Aye.
And Sarah?
Aye.
Who am I missing?
Nikki
left.
had to go to work, so she hopped off.
Okay. And I am a nay. It seems as if, how many ayes does that make?
I counted 7. Bill.
Okay. So the bid for STA is approved. And I want to thank everyone who on the board who came, but more importantly, I want to thank everyone from the community that came and shared with us all. I will take a motion to end this meeting.
This is Amy. So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. We'll take a voice vote. All to approve ending this meeting, say aye.
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 All
Thank
not
you,
to end the
everyone.
movie, say nay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Aye.
Bye.
Bye.